Doesn't it feel like the season for talking comics? I'm feeling fantastic. Today is a great day, and you know why? One of the reasons why. I mean, listen, it's the weather is getting better. It's still nice out, but one of the reasons why today is such a great day to talk comics is because we are joined by a special guest. We are making time for the Caped Crusader of comics himself. We have Caped Joel with us today.
Oh,
Joel,
too
thank you
kind.
so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. You're all much, much too kind. I'm really happy we could make this happen. I'm glad I could be here today, and yeah, I'm excited for what the future of the show holds.
Yeah, and we're just gonna talk comics, man. The chat is excited that you're here. I'm excited that you're here, and you are one of the bigger channels in our space. Why don't
Yeah.
you? Huh?
I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. I feel like I'm dwarfed in comparison to everyone else. I still feel like I'm that guy who started over a decade ago now. In fact, I'm researching a Daredevil project, and I'm looking back where I'm like, I covered the one in 2015, didn't I? When I was like just starting out, I did, but I missed the first two issues. Damn it.
Are you doing research on topics and finding your own videos?
Yes. Yes, it
Sick.
Yeah.
happens all the
Awesome.
time because I've been here so long, and like I literally have to think to myself, like, no, I read that, right? No, I definitely made a video on that
Nice.
topic. And I'm like, yep, there I go, 11, 12 years ago. I sure did.
That's cool.
We've run into that ourselves. We're getting into that
Mm,
into that
Finally.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have like an
finally getting that
ADBC
off.
situation going on with the show. So yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. So Joel, why don't you start by telling us why you make YouTube videos about comics? Because if it's not your job,
Mm.
then I think we're all a little weird for doing this. Why do you do it?
Well, I mean, it has been my job for a little bit, but it wasn't always is the thing. I started out, I actually started very early. I think I've said this elsewhere before, but I was like still in high school when
Oh,
I was doing this. That's how long I've been kind of chipping away at this for, first, just as like a side hobby, then semi-professionally, then eventually professionally. But I mean, mostly it was just because, I loved comics and I loved being able to talk with people about the thing I loved so much. The internet provided a great opportunity to introduce me to like-minded people, especially because, I'm from small northern town in Canada with a very small, very aged population. Again, I have to go like two towns over to actually go to a mom and pop brick and mortar comic book store. So, the internet,
Mhm.
especially around the time when I started, really opened me up to a whole new world of possibilities and great friends and relationships that I don't think I would have had any other ways. Of course, I'm of very good friends with Sal from Comic Pop. I've worked and collaborated with him for years. We both collaborated with the Weekly Pull, with Comics Explained, and Benny the Comic Story, and may he rest in peace.
absolutely.
And even before that, I worked on Comic Book Cast 2 back in the day. I was one of the original hosts on that channel before that one completely shifted direction. So yeah, I've been at this for a hot minute, and there was a moment there where I could say I knew everybody on comic book YouTube and that I'd collaborated with everyone and that I knew most of them by name. But the last couple of years, I guess I had my own little, what is it, hermity, reclusy kind of era there. So again, I'm glad that, Sal was nice enough to make the connection here between us. And he's like, nope, Joel, you got to get out there. You got to start meeting more people. You can't just be no man is an island, certainly not you. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And so far, it's been great. I did a Smokey's Comic Vault a couple weeks ago. I did a DJ Talks Trash show for Only Stupid Answers. And now I'm here. And, so far I can say I've been batting 100. They've all been great experiences and they've all been a lot of fun because, hey, there's a really nice community out there.
I'm glad Sal's wingman. That's great.
That's
Very
right.
much so. He really is. I've said it before. He is my creative big brother. He really, truly is, and he's going through it at the moment. Him and his wife, they got stuck there. United Airlines really
Oh,
screwed them over. So
Oof.
so our heart goes out to him wherever he is. They did that thing where it's like, oh, your flight's delayed. Your flight's delayed. Actually, your flight is canceled, and it's so late in the day you can't get a new flight, so you're stuck wherever you are.
yeah.
There,
Been
there actually
there.
never was a plane in the first
Right?
place.
Yeah.
Does it not feel like that sometimes at
Yeah.
the airport where it's like, this is just a magic show, man. This is just a shell game, and you've been screwing with me since the beginning.
The only good thing about
Wow.
an airport is getting caught up with comics. That's the only good thing. Otherwise,
This
it
is
is a
true.
purgatory hell.
I
Dude,
get a lot of reading done.
The way my iPad be dying, sorry.
That's a skill issue. You gotta be
Rough.
charging that stuff, Marco. Come on.
I never carry my mobile one.
You gotta travel with your omnibus with you.
Well,
Doing it analog. I count myself very lucky. I have my external power source that I've taken to several conventions now. It's getting old. I might need to retire it now. But it is, I shit you not, a Kryptonian crystal from the show Krypton that they gave out to try and like butter up content creators at the time for like the 2 seasons that show was
Wow.
on the air. And this is like this forgotten relic where it's like, man, when this dies, this is going to be very sad because once this goes away, how will anyone know this show even existed? That's the one show where they tried to kiss my ass, Krypton. So there you go.
Of all the shows to
Of
be the
all the
one,
shows.
it's the one
Sci-fi's
that,
Krypton.
yeah.
Oh,
Never
sci-fi. I
watched it.
totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? So did they, I think.
I think so, yeah.
So, when you're on YouTube for a decade doing any kind of creation, you're gonna see changes.
Oh yeah.
And YouTube for comic books has exploded in the last decade. Like it's incredible, the growth. I mean, we've benefited, so many channels have benefited. What are the biggest changes that you've observed in the space in the last decade?
Oh man, that's an excellent question. I feel like I feel like I should have a better, more in-depth answer. I feel like I mean, you could write a book on this, couldn't you? I mean, I kind of came in right around the time the New 52 was popping off, so obviously there was a lot of renewed interest in comic books and superheroes, especially on the DC front. Because hey, this is a thing they advertised on television, for crying out loud. That hey, everyone, go to your local comic book shop. Things are a changing. You're gonna want to check these out. And yeah, I mean, from renewed interest to, the kind of, influx between old fans and new fans. Obviously, of course, the movies and the TV shows have been a massive boon and kind of changed the way people were talking about comics and superheroes as a medium. I feel we kind of saw a pretty massive shift from, hey, I like these stories and these characters, and, this is my own personal connection to them, to, hey, these characters and stories are kind of like speculative for what the next big movie and TV show could be. So then we all became theory crafters and pitchmen for a second there. That was a big thing, reacting to all the trailers, and breaking them down and doing Easter eggs was a big thing for a bit there. To heck, even just a couple years ago, I have kind of seen something that I never thought I would see again as a nerd who came of the age in the 90s during the speculator boom. We've actually seen comic speculation come back in a huge way. Like there's whole channels now just dedicated to like the money side of it and playing like it's stocks. And I'm like, man, I never thought I would ever see this come back again.
yeah, seeing that come back. Just even at one of the local shops that I go to over here, a kid and his father, he looked like he was maybe 14, and he's just like, yeah, that cover, maybe not that cover. Actually, that one I think I've heard is gonna go up, and the consideration there is no longer
Crazy,
about
right?
the entertainment of it as much as
Yeah.
it is, can I invest in this thing? It's like,
It's-
ooh,
Yeah,
buddy.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's
when
an
I did
investment thing.
Yeah, I did IT for a whole bunch of art galleries a couple years back, and it feels like that writ small, like just people just looking at it just to be like, all right, how can I launder some money off of this thing?
I'm so glad you said that, because yeah, if you know anything about high-end art, most of it is just a front to move cash around.
Yeah, exactly.
Is all
That's
really
all it is. Yeah. It made me hate it. It made me hate art galleries.
I could only imagine, yeah, because yeah, if I'm like a drug kingpin, if I've got a lot of dirty money I gotta hide, hey, you put it in art because it's a small community controlled by a number of weirdos who decides what's worth money and what's not, and I can easily turn this into 5 million clean dollars if I want.
They also
put
made
into
me.
art.
Yeah, they also
No,
made me
you
use.
put into art.
They made me
There
use
you go.
FileMaker too, which was the worst thing to do in an IT space. So yeah.
And also to just from like a comic historical thing where I'm like, really, we're doing speculation again, guys. I don't know if you know the history, but that damn near killed the industry back in the 90s, and we're gonna try and do it again online.
I mean, we're getting holographic covers too. We're doing blind bag, polybag and stuff.
Temporary tattoos, which, okay, I will admit, I kind of loved the temporary tattoos when they did that for King in Black. They should really do that for Queen in Black. If we're doing that again, we need more temporary tattoos.
Yeah, with the speculation, one of the things that I find really compelling about the fact that we're back in that space
Mm.
is that even though it 1000% has echoes of the 90s, there is one key difference that I'm noticing, and that is the fact that some of these books, quite a few of them actually, are quite good.
Oh yeah,
Like
oh for sure.
Dork, for example,
I gotta read
first
that.
printing was ridiculous. But it's up to its, I believe it's up to its third or
Yeah,
or
third comes
fifth
out.
printing.
Third comes
Oh
out this
wow.
week. I don't know what they have announced, but at least it's
Yeah.
coming out tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh wow, they're motoring on that. I had no idea.
Dork 2 has had at least one reprint. So, like, that book isn't just a one issue speculator boom. It's actually carrying over at least into the next few issues. And it's one of my favorite books of the year.
It
So I
looks like
love the
something I would
fact,
dig.
yeah, dude, it's like very all like my feeling is like it's all ages. It's not for kids,
Mm.
but it's not like if you read it, if you give it to a kid, if you hand it to like a tween or whatever,
Right.
like they'll be in on the kind of jokes and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
But
that's
if you hand
good.
it
We
to an
need more of that.
adult like us, like we can dig on it too.
It's most
That's I
ages.
like that. I like that. I feel that's something that's kind of been lost. There aren't near as many all ages comics as there used to be. And some of my favorite stories, I don't know if I would feel right giving it to like my what is it, my younger cousins or whatever,
Sure.
where it's like, nah, I don't know if you would dig on this the same way.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm enjoying. Like they just said today that Absolute Batman is hitting 300,000 copies
Yes.
sold per issue, which
Saw
Wow.
that.
I don't actually even know. The last time that I can think of where we had something even close to that and it still wasn't that number was Avengers versus X-Men when that was coming out. And you're talking
Mm.
about 15 years ago.
Yeah, wow. Wow. Has it really been that long? Holy
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
dude. It makes me feel old, man. When
Same.
when that shit was coming out, I was 20, dude.
Comic Unk
Likewise,
over
yeah, I
here.
was also young. Yeah,
For
it really
real.
feels like that some days,
Unk.
doesn't it?
Yeah, man. So I guess there are some positives and negatives, like with the
Oh, for
blind
sure.
bags, right? And I'm
Mm.
interested to hear what you think about these. I so far have had a good time with them.
Well,
Like
that's
they're
good.
fun. Have you opened any yourself?
I have not, but I also cannot talk any shit on blind bags because I have been a lifelong TCG Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh card collector.
Tell me, man.
It's the same thing. It's the same basic concept. I'm part of the problem. Again, we talked about before we started how we all did Zoom during COVID. Yes, I absolutely got back into collecting cards again because I needed another hobby on top of my comic addiction. So I definitely did that. And yeah, when you pull something good, it feels really good. Yes, it's kind of gambling, but it's the feel good chemicals in my brain. It tickles them.
And when you open them, at least my experience so far has been you're getting a pretty good comic
Oh,
with the
you had
covers.
a good couple pulls on your
Yeah.
Ultimates one. I don't even think you pulled
My
the A cover, right?
No, my pulls were pretty good, but like the book itself is also good. Like
Sure.
it's not
Yeah.
like you're buying
Mhm.
some garbage just to get, the chance of a sweet cover. And
This
by
is
the
true.
way, I'm locked into TCGs as well. I'm having a crisis right now because I can't get my hands on the set of cards that I need for my game. So I feel you.
Been there.
But what I love so much is that we're getting to kind of have our cake and eat it too, where we're getting good books, but fun gimmicks.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess sometimes you can't have the best of both worlds.
And at least so far, the publishers, at least the big two, have been specific on what books they're doing. They're not doing like every new #1 gets a blind bag. So they're not overwhelming things yet. I know, like right
Yeah.
now we have like Daredevil's coming out in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Then we have Queen in Black, I think, got announced for it, right?
Yeah.
And then they have like
Yep.
this Doom thing coming out as well, right?
Yep.
So we're getting more than we had before. They are iterating on how it works. There were some issues with that Ultimates one. But so far in March 17th, 2026, we're not overdoing it.
Yeah, there you go. Check back in a year.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yet.
Now there is that Ben 10 blind bag coming, which
Oh, yes.
all the Gen Zers in our community are going crazy about this damn Ben 10. They
Yeah,
basically
they're
put the
rabid
gun to
for
my
it.
head and said, "You better cover it on the show." but the blind bag for Ben 10 is $10.
I mean, thematically, you
What?
kind of have to.
Yeah, right.
Are there 10 variants?
That I
Ooh.
don't know.
If
If
there's
not, there
more than
really
10
should be.
variants, then it's stupid. If there's 10
You kinda
variants,
messed
then
up.
I'm in. And each one is like progressively like a different ratio.
Damn, $10. I'm about to drop $50 on something. Oh my
I don't get the
Oh, are
Ben
you
10.
wait? You're a Ben head?
yeah, bro. I'm a huge fan.
Okay. All right. Cool. So I'm gonna buy one.
Damn.
I don't give a damn about Ben 10. I never seen a Ben 10 anything. But I
Oh,
will buy one blind bag to
Wow.
support the Gen Zers and to fuel my my
There you
comic book addiction.
Yeah, it's about the they deserve something, and yeah, I've seen how excited people are for that Ben 10 thing. I'm a little older. I kind of missed the Ben 10 mania myself, but I respect. Every generation gets their show, they get their thing, and now you get your comic version of that thing you liked.
Yeah, let me
Dude.
know when they do a SWAT Cats blind bag, okay?
Yes, please.
Dude, I mentioned Ben 10 and look at the chat. Look at these Gen Zers come out of the woodwork. Jet X didn't say a damn word. And I said Ben 10 and look at this man. You guys are crazy over
It's the
Ben 10.
cocktail effect for him.
I love it.
I'm very happy for all of you.
Yeah. Joel, what are the books that you're excited about right now? What's at the top of your pull list every week?
Ooh, good question. I mean, obviously, like most people, I am absolutely enraptured with the Absolute universe. I mean, just when I think I understand where it's going, just when I think I have the whole thing locked down, they flip the table creatively, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's the cool thing about this universe. You don't know what's going to happen next, and it doesn't matter if you've been reading comics forever or if you're new. These creative teams, they got curveballs for days that they're going to be throwing you. That's really good at DC. At Marvel, obviously anything Chip Zdarsky touches turns to solid gold for me. Love what he's doing on Captain America. I love that is going to be the book that the next big Armageddon event is going to be spinning out of. In fact, we had the first prelude issue to that Wolverine Armageddon book, which was actually pretty solid. I kind of had a falling out with a lot of the X-Men books where I was reading everything in Krakoa, tried to keep up with From Ashes, and then like the second big event where they expected you to buy 10 books, I'm like, nah, I can't. I tap, I'm out. But it was nice to read a Wolverine book again, and I'm like, yeah, this is just classic Wolverine conspiracies and super soldiers.
Speak on it. I felt the same way. It felt so good to be able to read Wolverine again.
Yeah, because it was like I had a breakup with someone I really loved, and I'm like, look, we've been together for so long, but I just can't anymore. Like, look, maybe I'll read the Gail Simone book and trade. Maybe I'll come back to some of this later, but I just can't with all these big events. I just can't anymore.
Too bad it's only a mini series, because then it's just like a little tryst, like
Yeah, right.
You're not fully back in a relationship again.
We're two ships that met in the night, and that's all it's gonna take until the next big creative shakeup, probably in time for the next movie when they know to take all the X-Men books back to #1 again, because we know that's gonna happen.
That's the thing that puzzles me so much with the X line is that like we're still probably a couple years out from an X-Men movie, and whenever that comes around, they're going to shuffle the deck again.
Oh, of course.
So this whole era feels like wasted time to me.
Which is kind of what we were in before in the Krakoa era, where it's like we're just wasting time until they figure out the rights one way or another. We're jogging in place. You'll get another story that feels like Days of Future Past. You'll get another story that feels like House of M and everything. It's like, okay, so we're reheating the leftovers, huh? We're playing the greatest hits. All right.
Yeah, all they'll have is a bunch of 5-issue trades that people can check out.
Perfect.
By the time that movie comes out.
Moving units, Tyler. That's what it's about.
At Barnes and Noble.
Can't wait to get that Cyclops trade.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cyclops has a new solo series going on. Good for him. It's been a minute.
Joel,
the Psylocke one.
There's the Psylocke one too. Isn't it so exciting Like, isn't that what you read X-Men comics for? To get Cyclops solo series? Isn't that what we're looking for?
I did actually like the last one, the last Cyclops solo series where he like went to space with his dad and he met his like other brother again. I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun.
It was Greg
The Rucka
Rucka
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Greg Rucka. Yeah, who's coming back for Batwoman in DC Next Level, which is gonna be so good.
Tomorrow, dude. Like,
Oh, that is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm super excited.
Now I'm even more excited.
Hyped. I'm taking my lunch early. I'm going to my shop tomorrow. I'm hyped for it.
Sounds good.
But I'm more hyped for books like Lobo and books
That's gonna be
like
fun.
Firestorm than I am for X-Men books, which is wild for
Weird,
me as
right?
a Marvel fan. I hate Lobo. Lobo is a dumb character. He's something I missed the boat on completely. But you know what? I saw those preview pages. I saw the Jorge Corona art. I was like, well, fuck.
You're in. You're gonna fall in love.
And Scotty Young is like genuinely funny too. He's like, I would say in the upper echelon of comic writers where it's like, oh yeah, this dude makes me laugh. This dude knows the anatomy of a joke. He knows how to set up a bit and pay it off. Lobo is, Lobo, he's a funnier character than we've ever had before. So I think, they can really make him work. Maybe as like DC's answer to Deadpool, where it's like, well, why don't we have a Deadpool?
Sure. Yeah.
Then again, I guess Harley was also their Deadpool for many years as well. So I guess that's maybe more of a correlation.
Harley was their third pillar at one point.
Fourth pillar, yeah. I mean, it's the Trinity in her, which at the time I'm like, that's insane. And then as more time's gone on, I'm like, no, that makes sense with the merch she moves and the place she holds in culture and the fact that she had a wildly successful TV show there for a long time. Yeah, you know what? That's okay. You can be the fourth pillar, actually.
Ivy Moon, 17 months a member of the channel at the VI Pal tier. Thank you so much, Ivy. Want to thank Cape Joel for being there when I started comics heavily in 2015. Also, Ben 10, only 2 years older than Teen Titans.
Wow.
So, in Millennial. Interesting. Is it really?
Yeah, well,
it's older?
No. It's is it older? 2005.
Jeez, because I'm 33, so like I'm in prime Ben 10 age.
Yeah, same.
Teen Titans was 2003.
Okay.
Okay.
I was much more of a Teen Titans guy than I was a Ben 10 guy.
Likewise.
Y'all slept on it.
I guess we did.
I did. Maybe it was on too early on Saturdays. I was sleeping through it.
True enough, yeah, because I reached that point too, because I was like a major Power Rangers head growing up, and that was like one of the shows they always had on really, really early. Yeah. So you had to get up to catch the new episodes. Then right around the time Disney bought it and they started airing it on ABC in the afternoons, and then I'm like, oh cool, I can sleep in and I can still watch this. Thanks, ABC.
I remember really liking that show Gimmicks, and like WB would only put it on super early. So I'd be up at like 7:30 on Saturdays.
Yeah, Gimmicks, Robots for Everyone. That theme song is still a banger. Yeah. It's so weird and so French.
I couldn't tell you anything about this show. It retained nothing.
Likewise. There was a Dr. Wily bad guy and a robot made of cubes, and you had to be up at 7 to watch it.
Yeah.
What the hell is this shit?
Yes, it was like that early 3D TV animation, which I'm sure has not aged well at all.
Wow.
Shout out to having over 100 people here with us talking to Cape Joel about comics and anything else that comes to mind. Smash the like button if you're enjoying the show. Super chats are open. We'd love to see those. Joel, you recently put up a video on your channel, which, by the way, everybody needs to head on over and subscribe to Cape Joel. If you enjoy what we do over here, you will love his channel. And so many of you have said that you enjoy Joel already, but if you don't know, now you know. You did a video called The Next Generation of Batman Villains. And I thought it was really interesting because you were basically pitching your ideas for what a next wave of Batman villains could look like, but there was a caveat where you were essentially like tethering yourself to a current Batman villain and figuring a way to like iterate or spin out of that I thought was pretty interesting.
Thank you. Again, for those who don't know, Detective Comics being written by Tom Taylor at the moment, which is great in and of itself, though I feel it is currently being buried under all the other praise for Matt Fraction's Batman and obviously Absolute Batman. It's like, no, there's actually a third Batman book that is also very good right now. And one of the best things Tom Taylor has done in this run is he's gone out of his way to create new and interesting villains at a rate that I don't think any other writer has really done before. He gave us Asima, which is this cool modern take on like a vampire who has her own dark history with Bruce's parents and Joe Chill. Honestly, that whole run where I'm like, wow, this feels more like what Hush 2 was supposed to be than what Hush 2 actually ended up being. But the second new villain he invented was a guy called the Lion. And the Lion's deal is he's basically an inverse of the Scarecrow, where the Scarecrow is all about fear gas and trying to make people afraid. The Lion wants people to be brave. He wants people to break the chains of fear and, leave the jobs they hate, leave the spouses that don't deserve them, etc., etc. He has his own reasons for doing this that are, of course, tied into his own relationship with a young Bruce Wayne and with Scarecrow. And I'm like, man, what a cool idea that is to take an existing Batman villain, invert their, ideology and gimmickry, and create a new villain out the other end of that. And I said, well, what if we kept doing that, Tom Taylor? What if we kept taking Batman villains as they are and trying to create new villains by turning them in themselves? And yeah, a lot of people like that video. In fact, that video holds a special place right now. It is the first time ever that basically a one-sided podcast video essay where I'm just sitting there talking to the camera got more views than the actual comics I covered that week. And obviously I've refreshed my whole channel, and this is like the first week where I'm like, oh, I think my algorithm is changing. Oh, I think this is actually working now. Holy crap. What do I do now? People like me. They actually like me. They want to hear the crazy things that come out of my mouth. What do I do next week? I actually kind of spiraled out a little bit this week where I'm like, oh, that was really successful. What do I do for this coming Friday?
Yeah, I know that hamster wheel of creation and having to constantly iterate, and
Mhm.
you almost hit a point where you're like, damn, what if my next idea sucks?
Right.
Yeah, it's a terrible feeling.
And YouTube, at least when I was coming up, they always told us like, hey, did you have a successful video? Cool. Do that 3 more times. Either it will be successful or you will realize it is a fluke, but do the same thing 3 more times. I don't know if that's good advice. That's what they told me when I started.
It's a heat check, and it absolutely works.
Yeah.
It 100% works. Like, I feel like this channel can't do it, but you could make videos about the absolute universe all day long. You could just make dozens of videos about the absolute universe, and they'll all pop because that's in vogue right now.
It's hot at the moment. It's searchable. It's blowing up the feeds, as they say. But then you also got to plan for the future. And then it's like, okay, well, will these still be searchable in a year, though, is the thing?
Yeah.
Will people still be as into it as they are? And that's another reason why I've had to refresh the channel, too, because I've, again, been doing weekly comic reviews for about a decade now, since like 2015, even before, if you count my life on Comic Book Cast 2. And it's like, okay, so, once these runs are done, once they're in the rear view mirror, unless someone makes like a movie out of this or references it in one of the TV shows, are people going to go back and watch these again? And I'm like, that's a good question. I never considered that.
Yeah, and that's another one of those double-edged swords of making, videos about comics, is that it is, if you're talking about contemporary weekly books, it very much is a moment-to-moment thing,
Yeah.
and you do become a prisoner of the moment. If you review Ultimate Endgame, for example, well, great, but will people care about that video in a year or two? Is it still going to be making you money,
Oh,
Exactly.
if there are delays, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, which is not impossible. Again, I referenced Hush 2 a minute ago. What an insane book Hush 2 ended up being, where they're like, yeah, so we're actually going to be pulling it out even longer now.
Can't wait. And part 2 is still coming out.
It's still coming. We got 6 more issues happening.
Didn't they also say there's Hush 3?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course there will be a Hush 3. We can't stop the Hush train.
Jim Lee's going to be drawing it in the old folks' home.
Yeah, and that's the thing where it's like, yeah, obviously it took a long time because Jim Lee, dude, he's like a president at the company. He has a lot of other things going on. He can't just draw the book. And then I'm like, well, why did he have to draw the book then? You could have handed it off to another artist who I'm sure would have loved to do it. Yeah, but then would it have really been Hush 2? And I'm like, I mean, it's whatever you want it to be. Technically, it's Hush 3 or 4 if we count Heart of Hush and every other Hush story that happened afterwards.
Heart of Hush still remains the best Hush
Agreed.
story, really.
I never read that one.
Agreed. Oh, it's great.
Oh,
Is that Dustin Nguyen?
yeah, it's Dustin Nguyen, and it's Paul Dini, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Paul
Yes,
Dini, yeah.
yeah, excellent story.
It was a Detective Comics story, right?
Sure was.
So it's funny. I never read it, but in high school, I recreated one of the covers in my art class. Actually,
Oh, there you go.
yeah. Maybe I
Great
should
coverage, yeah.
read a book for once.
Nah.
Here's a question for you, Joel, from one of our loyal listeners, Atomic Hound, who wants to know your thoughts on the recent Big Two crossovers.
Oh yeah. So I think was it if people actually watch my channels, I or my channel and my coverage of those books, I think I was maybe not as over the top about it as other people where I'm like, yeah, this is super awesome. I'm glad they did it. Do I think these are timeless epics that will last forever? No, I think they're fun disposable crossovers, which is basically all these have ever been, and that's perfectly okay. They know what they were. They got people into comic book stores. They got people talking again. They got the two companies working together finally in something I never thought I would live long enough to see. And on that regard, I think they're a great success, even if narratively I struggle to remember what happened in a lot of these.
Is there any part of you that wishes that they were more than they are?
I mean, maybe, but like, I'm also just so happy about all the other stuff. I'm willing to let it slide. Now, obviously, we're getting the Superman Spider-Man book in the next little bit, and that one's written by Wade. And I have to wonder the fact that they waited to do that. Will this one be a little different? Will Wade actually have more to say? Will this one actually, go a little deeper and being a little bit more meaningful? I hope so. And even if it's not, that's fine too, because hey, it's Spider-Man and Superman on the page together.
That's what matters. That's what we bought. The ticket we bought.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like, hey, it's what it says on the tin.
Dude, I genuinely didn't think that in my time as a comics reader that we would get that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought they're two comic companies, but they're owned by these media giants who hate each other and are fighting for our screen real estate and our eyes and our attention, and everything. There's no way they'd be willing to work together again, but they did, and that's pretty awesome.
And what's crazy too is when you know that the only real reason they didn't happen in the first place is because Dan Didio put the kibosh on all that stuff.
Yeah, which
He
is weird.
Yeah, he felt that look, our comics stand on their own 2 feet, and if we are teaming up with the other publisher, it weakens the value of what we do here. But that's such a crazy concept because these things happen once in a blue.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
Marvel could have made it happen anyway. They could have just said, "Hey, we'll kill Nightwing in our issue,"
and then he'd be like, sold,
Oh,
sold,
he's
sold.
in. He's in.
Look, tell you what, Dan, what if we kill Nightwing in every crossover? We will concoct a reason for him to be there so we can kill him across every one of these little vignettes.
He did that himself. There was like a year or two ago, there was like one of those quarterly seasonal issues that DC does. And it was like a multiverse themed one. And Didio wrote a story in it where I guess it's a retelling of Infinite Crisis, where instead of Superboy dying, it was Nightwing. And it was just multiple realities where Nightwing gets killed. It was him
I must have missed that one.
It was like a 5-pager. It wasn't that big, but
okay.
it was pretty funny that he finally got to do it himself.
He's kind of leaning into the meme at this point now that he's older and he doesn't work there anymore. Dan Didio's like, I hate Nightwing. I'm gonna kill him. I don't even work there anymore. Oh, here I come with the knife.
Yeah, 100%.
There's something oddly endearing about that in a messed up way.
This is when Marie Javins was there too. So like he's not an official DC worker and they let him do that. So that's kind of fun.
Right.
Just for the jokes. But his reasoning for sort of disliking characters like Wally West and Dick Grayson is that he feels as though they point out how the characters that they stand in the shadow of don't get older.
Yeah.
So
and made him feel old by extension too, is what I took away from it. Where it's like, well, if these younger characters, stick around and get more responsibility, then I feel older as a person. Dude, you are getting older. We're all getting older, man.
But in a very real way, though, beyond that, in a very real way, we've watched Wally and Dick Grayson grow up. They started as kids and now they're adults. Whereas we haven't seen a gray hit Batman's head.
Nope.
And we never will. That's not going to happen in main continuity.
No, maybe an absolute though, because as we said, the rules are different there. So hey, wouldn't that be crazy if the absolute line continues? Imagine if they pulled an ultimates and actually let their characters age in real time.
Oh, as long as they don't do it month by month.
Yeah, true enough.
Well, real time. I mean, my man's 20 years old.
That's
Yeah.
right. So we still got many years.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But what do you think about that concept though of these and I really think it's a DC thing more than a Marvel thing, but these legacy characters who, because Barry and Hal are not the first Green Lanterns, but
Mm-mm.
so you've got the legacy Green Lanterns, then you've got Hal and Barry, but they're never really gonna like move over
No,
in a
they're never going to
permanent way.
break that glass ceiling. Maybe for a minute, maybe for a run, but never forever.
Right. So how do you feel about those characters in that context?
I mean, it definitely is annoying as someone who's read for a long time, where it's like, so we're going to have no upward momentum for characters. They're just going to be stuck here forever and ever. I'm on top of being a comic fan, I'm also a wrestling fan, and there's this concept of the mid card, and it feels like a lot of these legacy characters are just forever stuck in the mid card. You can hold the Intercontinental Championship, but you could never hold the Heavyweight Championship. This is your ceiling, and it's not like in real life where it's like, okay, fine, well, I'm gonna go to TNA, I'm gonna go to New Japan, and I'm gonna showcase how good I really am, and then maybe I can come back and get a second shot at it, a la Cody Rhodes. But yeah, it is annoying, but I could also understand from like a cold, calculating, boardroom greasy standpoint where they're like, no, well, these characters, are the pillars of our company. They're on the lunch boxes and the cereal and the underoos and everything, so they need to be given precedent. They put the butts in seats and everything, so they must always be adhered to forever and ever. And it's like, that's really disappointing. I also get why you're doing it from such a cold, callous standpoint. I would love to see the other heroes get their day in the sun, and sometimes they do. Again, if you are a Wally, I mean, Wally fans pretty much unanimously said, we would like Wally now, please. We waited through the New 52. We waited through all these other runs. Can it please be Wally again? Wally's a weird case too, because Wally was the Flash for like such a long period of time before they even brought Barry back. So he's like the one who kind of broke the glass ceiling, and he's still kind of on the other side, but people are still like, oh, but Barry's still here though. He's writing the other history of the DC universe. So when he's done.
Yeah, Nightwing is essentially the Miz, where it's like
Yes.
they'll let him have that top spot occasionally when they need him to. Otherwise, he's an IC champion most of the time.
You can have a better book than Batman. Nightwing is that too. It's like you can actually have a better, more popular book than Batman. In fact, you could even call it better than Batman if you want. But never forget your place.
I think he's more like a Daniel Bryan.
Sure, maybe, yeah.
He really is. He really is, and now he has a nice spot on AEW commentary.
Indeed, yeah. I always reference wrestling juxtaposed with comics, just because I think that there's
similar.
so much overlap.
Same.
But there's something you tapped into that I think is interesting. In wrestling, you are naturally required to bring new people into the fold.
Yeah.
Stone Cold aged out, The Rock aged out. Like eventually these people have to leave.
Yeah.
Now, it may take until these people are 60 years old to give up the seat, but eventually it does have to happen.
Yeah,
so you have to freshen things up. Yeah. Right. But Bruce Wayne will never be old. Like that's just a character. So there is no real incentive other than people getting tired of it for DC or Marvel to change things. But
this is true.
We're not getting tired of Bruce Wayne. The #1 best-selling comic by a mile is Absolute Batman.
Yeah.
Now it's a different take on him, but it's still Batman at the end of the day.
It's still Bruce Wayne at that.
Yeah, true. True enough. Yeah, that is true.
I mean, Lucha Libre has it done right. They just put someone else under the mask.
They just pass the mask off. Yeah, you're another Mystico.
Yeah, exactly.
Sly Blue Demon with the 5 spot. There should only be one human Green Lantern, and his name is Guy Gardner.
And his name is Guy Gardner. I read that in the John Cena prank call.
He would be that guy. I could totally see Guy Gardner. You can't see me. And I mean, hey, they're kind of in the same universe now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Good point.
That is gonna happen. Yeah, isn't Guy like a god now in the Green Lantern book? I'm so behind up, but didn't he get like a massive power up after DCKO? And doesn't he have like a religion built around him now?
Yeah, I just read it today, actually, the newest issue of Green Lantern Corps, where he's like this priest, this unwilling priest, and he even has like Arkilo and Dexter and Saint Walker as like his prophets in a way, and it's just
Oh,
wild.
that's fun.
Now, there's a particular space of comic book fandom that I need your take on, Joel.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
And I'm talking about the Spider-Man fans.
Ah,
I'm talking
yes.
about the webheads, all right?
Ah, yes.
Now, we know them. We don't necessarily love them, but they're here, and we must acknowledge them. What is your take on people who consider themselves to be diehard Spider-Man fans? The ones who are still mad about One More Day.
Right. I mean, I feel like the calls are coming from inside the house on some of these too, where it's like, look, in many ways, I'm still mad about One More Day too, but also as someone, who, approaches this stuff, not just from a fan perspective, but from a critical perspective, from, a consumer advocacy perspective. I like to think I take every run and every Spider-Man story as it comes, but man, there is just this there is this elephant in the room that they never seem to want to address. And Spider-Man fans are such an interesting breed of fan because they love everything, buy everything, but transversely they also hate everything as well. And again, I know I'm part of the problem too. I know I haven't liked like the last 3 Spider-Man runs, but I keep coming back to Death Spiral has actually been pretty okay, actually, because I think Charles Soule and Al Ewing really want to hold up their end of the story, so they can't really run in place and they kind of have to show off and show out. But yeah, it is such this weird dichotomy where they know what they want, but they hate everything they get. And sometimes, even when there is like an interesting idea, like, oh, we'll send him out to space for a little bit. Nah, actually, we're gonna bring him back in like under a volume because we got like a new crossover coming. Sorry, I know that kind of just seemed like an interesting idea. Okay, well, what if he's magic? What if he's like the defender of the magical realm under Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Doom? Nah, that had a short shelf life anyway. No, we're done with that. We're moving on. The status quo must always be maintained. Well, what about his love life right now? Does he have any friends? No, yes, maybe. We don't know. Whatever. It just is what it is. But yeah, Spider-Man fans are very, very interesting. And I'm sure you've noticed this too. The time scale of what Spider-Man fans consider to be good continues to change. I was there in the Slott years for like the decade plus that he wrote it, and everyone hated Slott and said he was the devil and was the worst thing that ever happened to this book. And how dare you make Otto Octavius Spider-Man? We never want to see you again. Then he was done. And then only a couple of years later, oh, they need to bring Slott back. Actually, Slott was when it was good and everything. That Spider-Verse was so great. And Superior Spider-Man was one of the greatest Spider-Man stories they ever told. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I told you that when it was going on, and y'all called me an asshole for daring to say it. And even now, a couple runs in, they're like, man, they need to bring Nick Spencer back.
I've heard that too. Yeah.
I've heard it too, and I'm just like, so is this just going to keep happening forever with Spider-Man fans now? 2 runs from now, you're going to be nostalgic for the 1 run ago that you hated, and are we just going to do this dance forever? And honestly, it feels like yes, indeed, we are going to do this dance forever.
Next major run, we're gonna people are gonna be saying, man, Zeb Welsh and Paul should really come back. There's something missing.
Yeah, they got an unfair shake, those guys, and I think.
Yeah.
And because Spider-Man's been running for so long too, I think people always end up being nostalgic for the era they started in.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's people out there my age who still love Ben Reilly with a burning passion because that was the guy when you were reading. And I get it. And if you are a Ben Reilly fan, I am so sorry about Chasm. I am so sorry about everything that has happened to that
Chasm.
character. Oh, Chasm, man. He's so edgy. He's so edgy. He's so edgy, and his plot is, I'm just gonna be Peter for a little bit and like not pay his bills and put tuna fish in his house. That was your evil plan, really?
That's fucked up. So I'm digging it. Chasm is my favorite costume design in the past like decade of comics. I love that thing. It's
It's
great.
a very good action figure, and you know they
Yes.
thought they were cooking with that design because the Marvel Legend came out almost
Yep.
right away.
Yep, it was the quickest one. Like him and Hollow Eve immediately came out in toy form. I'm like, oh
I
shit,
could
okay,
not,
cool.
I could not believe that. And as a man who has very many of the retro Marvel Legends himself,
That's the good
off
one.
to the side.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the second run. This one
Yeah.
and the Peter Parker one are almost impossible to find. I found this one on the shelf, and I have never grabbed something
Yeah.
quicker in my life.
See, I
You
can't
unbox
get
them?
into that.
Yeah, don't show Sean that one. Don't show him a Sentry one. You can't be like,
Oh yes.
that's like saying treat by a dog. His ears are gonna perk up, and then
Want to go to the park?
yeah, exactly.
Joel, do you unbox them or you keep them in the box?
These ones I definitely keep. Some I do unbox. I have like a whole bunch of little Mando figures you can't see over to the side on one of those neon Star Wars signs. I'm at the point now where I don't have enough space for like the big 6-inch figures anymore. I'm like, nah, I gotta downsize. I gotta do the smaller guys now. I can keep more room. Again, talking about wrestling, one guy again, if you've watched my AEW X DC Comics videos, I actually do have a little Eddie Kingston that I keep here on the desk. He's a big comic fan, and I know he watches other channels that I have collaborated with. He has mentioned as much on stream. Yes, he's a secret comic fan, because he's a big tough guy from New York and everything.
He's from my hometown. I think he's grew up in my neighborhood.
Oh, holy shit,
Yeah.
that's so fucking cool. Yeah, so I know he's a comic fan. I don't think he watches my channel, but I know he watches lots of channels that I've collaborated with. My hope is one day to get Eddie Kingston to recognize me.
That's cool.
That would be super cool. Patrick Zay is fucking cool. He dropped $4.99 on us. He says, "We outside. This is interview of the year. I don't care. I was watching you 10 years ago, Joel. Thank you. Please come back on the
Wow.
main podcast soon."
Aw.
He wants you to run the marathon, the main show Saturday marathon. Jeez.
Ooh. I'm glad it's just a show called The Marathon, because if I had to actually run a marathon, I would not be going.
Yeah, no,
very
it's just
far.
because we do it 3 hours straight. We do it until our bodies can no longer produce any kind of liquid.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know what that's like. I know the podcasting high when you're with your friends and the conversation is flowing and you feel like you can do it forever. Hell, when I started, I was doing like 5 podcasts a week. That was like my addiction. I never turned down a single show. And here's the best part. For at least some of these shows, I didn't have a chair at the time, so I literally did them standing up.
What?
Yeah, for some of these. If you go back and watch old like Elseworlds exchanges and everything, I am actually standing up for some of them.
I tried doing one of those standing under the desk treadmills during a show once. Too much noise. I couldn't noise gate it. Yeah.
You could, and you're just head bobbing up all the time.
Yeah, my man boobs were jiggling, so I didn't want to like do that on the show. Yeah.
I've been there too, literally. Again, right before COVID, I lost about 50 pounds. And the reason I did it was because Sal and I went to a show in Toronto, the Toronto Fan Expo that they have every year, and we filmed some stuff there. And you can probably still find this online. Actually, there is some very unflattering footage of me walking down a set of stairs, and I could literally see the jiggling in real time. I'm like, dude, I gotta fucking start working out and eating better, man. Holy shit! That was a moment where you see yourself in the most unflattering light.
I lie, say it adds 10 pounds, right? That's all you do.
Yeah, camera adds 10 pounds. Here's the worst part. I did it. I got skinnier than I had ever been before. I lost all this weight, and then COVID happened and we couldn't go anywhere. And I'm like, well, fuck it. If the world is shut down, I'm going to be eating macaroni triangles with every meal. I am definitely going to be having a second helping of ice cream. You can't stop me from self-medicating with food. So now I think I'm actually fatter than I was back then, but I'm not filming myself going downstairs, so it's all good.
You got to know your angles.
Absolutely, yeah. You got a good angle and you got a great angle.
Do you have any favorite conventions that you've been to?
Oh, yeah. I've been lucky enough to be to so many. Obviously, Fan Expo is my local one. It was the first one I ever got pressed to. I haven't been in forever, which is a shame because, life has just been so crazy and chaotic. And because I live in a small town, actually going to Toronto is kind of a big deal. Philadelphia, I have a really great Philadelphia story. They had Keystone Comic-Con one year. It was the first and only time they ever had that con. And basically nobody showed up except for a bunch of the press people that they had kind of already gotten to do there. And I was riding the Weekly Pull's coattails to get to the show. It's like, we need another guy. We'll bring you in. So I basically had everything taken care of for me because I came and showed up late to a convention that felt like it got thrown solely for me and my friends. And like you had just unrestricted access to all the creators and celebrities who were bored as hell sitting there. Cause I think Philadelphia had like Dragon Con like the week before. They had like their big local con. So scheduling nightmare and nobody showed up. But I have so many great stories from that convention. That's the convention where I met Big Bird and his wife, Carol Spinney, the original Big Bird.
Oh my God, I would have cried.
Here's the thing. I didn't know it was him at the time because he was very sick at this time. Carol Spinney. He was in a wheelchair. I think he died like the next year. And I'm in the elevator with this very nice elderly couple. And we're talking and we're chatting. We're having a great time. I'm like, oh, what a lovely group of people. And they're like, oh, we've been doing conventions for years. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I want to be like you guys, when I grew up. And then as I'm walking through the hall later, I see the picture there and meet Carol Spinney, the original Big Bird. I'm like, that was Big Bird I met. Oh my God, I talked to Big Bird. Holy shit. That was also the show I met Nick Spencer for the first time. And this was like right around the time Secret Empire was happening and he was getting all that hate mail and everything. Not before he had to stop going to conventions because of Spider-Man and everything, but around that time. And I'm pretty sure I scared the shit out of poor Nick Spencer because I'm a big guy. I'm like 6'1", almost 300 pounds. And I come over to them like, hey, Nick Spencer, I really like your work, man. That Ant-Man run is deeply underrated. It's really good, man. Thanks.
That Ant-Man run is really good. Grizzly was fucking awesome in that run.
Oh, tell me about Machine Smith. Man, isn't it so weird that Ant-Man has like disappeared now and like we haven't seen Scott Lang in forever?
He's there. You can't see him. Yeah.
Exactly. He's shrunk down. He's shrunk down. He's there.
Check his Legion comic. He's credited in every comic, actually. Yeah.
I think the deal was like after Secret Empire, he stowed away on like a Guardians ship, and I think the plan was to have him join some incarnation of the Guardians of the Galaxy that never ended up happening. So he like never came back from space, and someone needs to write that story. What happened to Scott?
Here's a question from that one Roman from history who wants to know our thoughts on the last few Batman and Detective Comics runs. Joel, what are your thoughts on Batman lately?
Ooh, well, I mean, I've read all of them. Again, I've been reading consistently. What is it? Even before I started reading professionally from like the New 52 onward. I mean, obviously, you got to give Scott Snyder his flowers for what he did in the New 52. Court of Owls became an immortal story. Even before that, his Detective Comics run, right before the New 52, where he brought in James Gordon Jr. and all that other stuff. That was pretty amazing. And that was a Dick Grayson story, no less. So he actually ended up writing one of the best Dick Grayson stories as Batman as well. Then we entered the Tom King era, which, I'm kind of iffy on the Tom King era as anyone who's followed me for a long enough time. I think, what is it? James Tynion the Fourth actually has a really underrated Detective Comics run where he straight up just made it a Bat Family book and made it a team book. And Clayface got to be a good guy and Batwoman had a bunch of stuff to do. And I'm like, man, why don't they do this again? This is actually a really good idea for Detective. That was good. Zdarsky had some good stories too. I feel like people don't hold up his Batman run nearly as much. I actually really liked his like dark alternate Gotham that he did, because I think he built like a really interesting dystopia there where it's like, imagine a world that is so horrible and so crushing that it slowly drives you insane. In fact, we're actually pumping fear gas into the world as it is right now. And the only way you can escape this drudgery is by paying for medication that is shilled by the 1% who literally live in ivory towers around you while you drink poison down below. And I'm like, oh, Zdarsky's saying some stuff. Oh, he's putting on his social commentary pants right now. And I agree. But yeah, that was pretty solid.
How do you feel about what Matt Fraction is doing now?
Oh, very fun, very interesting, very different. I love that he's wearing the blue again. I love that these are basically one and dones now with overarching stories. I feel like writing a good one and done 22-page comic story has become like this lost art form where everyone's afraid to do it now because everyone's just writing for the trade. I think it's great. I love the personality shift in Batman, where he is way less bat cop, bat vigilante, and much more bat social worker, where he is actively trying to help his villains and actually trying to like de-escalate situations. And we're like, oh, the cops are actually his enemies now because they're run by Vandal Savage. Which how crazy is it that that stuck around? Police Commissioner Vandal Savage,
Yeah.
where it's like, why did no one step in and deal with this from like the Justice League? This seems like a pretty big problem.
Local government moves real slow, so yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Batman's there to solve it.
That's so true. No one gives a crap about local government,
Yeah.
and they really, really should. No, no, change starts at home, everybody.
It's a 4-year primary. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
getting
right.
worse. Poison Ivy now is the mayor.
That's
right.
right. She became, and that's going to lead into a whole big event, Bad Seed, where I'm like, damn, I really got to read that Poison Ivy because it started as a mini, then another mini, and they kept building and building. I'm like, man, G. Willow Wilson, I think she's cooking with this. I think she's killing with this. Now it's going to be the backbone of an event. What a great success story for this Poison Ivy book.
Yeah, for sure.
I forced Marco to read it as a big Swamp Thing fan because they do a lot of the green talk in
The
that
green
book.
and whatnot. Yeah. I'm still catching up. I'm still way behind.
Love it. Love me some green. Also, just good on G. Willow Wilson, you know, creating Kamala Khan, bursting onto the scene in such a big way, and then kind of never really finding another book that reached that height at Marvel, but then to actually cross the aisle to DC and then do something so revolutionary with Poison Ivy to basically end up completing her change from villain to anti-villain to anti-hero to, okay, well, now she's just the star of her own book now.
Yeah. And then even ping-pong back to Marvel for Black Cat, which is doing really good.
That's right. She's doing Black Cat. Yeah, I can't believe I live in a day and age where there has been like several very good Black Cat runs in a row where it's like, no, Jen McKay killed it and G. Willow Wilson is doing good too. You actually need to pay attention to Black Cat now. Yeah. Good for her. Good for Felicia. Maybe Sony will finally make that Black Cat movie at some point.
It'll happen. Fingers crossed.
Remember they almost made a movie with her and Silver Sable and they were going to call it like Black and Silver?
Silver and Black. Yep.
Yeah,
the Amy Pascal's vision for the Sony universe of Marvel characters.
Yes.
This was your Sony leaks, right, Sean?
The Sony hacks that happened all because really they happened because of Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Yes, Seth Rogen, the interview.
One day there will be a deep dive on this channel about that. It's one of my favorite subjects in the history of comic book films. Mike Manhattan brings up something really interesting, though. He says, did you know that Rick Remender turned down the offer to write Batman? Yes.
Interesting.
Though, this was recent, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. That, of course, he would turn it down. But Rick Remender on Batman, we'll never get it. But I really can't think of any person who hasn't already written the character who I need to see take them on.
Yeah, this is pretty true. If we're talking about like AAA writers who never got a chance to write Batman, yeah, fair enough.
That's like if you told me like Remender's going back to the big two to write a character, who would you want it to be? I would probably pick Batman immediately. I think he has something there. Yeah.
I'm shocked they never even gave him like a mini series. Like even Jason Aaron got like a like the Batman Goes to Space thing there. At least he got like a one. I'm surprised they didn't give him one. Maybe free him up from continuity and be like, okay, do what you want in the space, you know?
I think it's him. I don't think he wants to. Yeah.
I guess. Which, hey, you know, good on him for sticking to his creative guns, I guess. You know, sometimes you just don't have an idea as a creator and you shouldn't force it. I've seen plenty of books like that where it's like, oh, you didn't have an idea here, but you wanted to say you did it and you forced it.
Dude wrote Axis one time and completely reverted his idea of what comics are. Now does not write Big Two.
That's right. Good Axis pull.
And it's you know, it's really just because he's not trying to make corporate comics anymore. You know, point blank. Like he's making so much money and his fans like myself have followed him and supported him for a decade now. In his creator-owned endeavors. And he literally has never looked back. And I have a tremendous, like, as much as it frustrates me because of how much I love his work, and I think his Big Two work is like his Marvel work is stellar. I'm so proud that he's doing this.
Yeah.
Likewise. Again, I always hold up the success of a guy, again, like James Tynion the Fourth, where it's, here's a guy who came in with a history of horror books, his connection as a student to Scott Snyder, busted onto the scene, wrote a ton of really big, really important books, and then got incredibly rich and famous off his creator-owned horror stuff, getting like Netflix streaming deals all across the board, to where it's like, oh, I'm a millionaire now, and I don't actually need to keep writing these if I don't want. I can pick my projects. I'm like, good for you, man, because you're like my age, and you started writing around the same time I started reviewing. Good for you. Maybe we can hang out when I become a millionaire. Oh, well, that's not happening. But even if it was,
Yeah, it's comic book YouTube going.
and any day that YouTube ship's gonna be sailing in any of these days.
Well, Joel, all you need to do is get the Marvel and DC checks that every weird commenter is so sure that we're all receiving
Right?
for reviewing these books positively or negatively.
Yeah, mine must have got lost in the mail. Here's the thing. For the first time ever, I am actually getting press from one of the big two companies. I have never had it in my 10 plus years on it, only recently. And again, that's only because Sal kicked me in the ass and said, dude, you should really get on this. You should really make it happen. Much to my shock, the press guys from both Marvel and DC actually follow me on social media and have been for a long time, which got under my skin because I'm like, hey, you know who I am. Why aren't I on any press list? If you care to follow my tweets and my Blueskies and everything, why aren't I on any press list? So that's what it's like being me.
Just about impossible to get on those. You really need the vouch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like a special club. You need to get someone else to vouch for you to know the special knock.
Yeah. We got a $10 super chat from Pika Mark, who says, do y'all think there's a line between a creator's accountability to meet fan expectations for a character or event and the fan accountability to control their expectations?
Oh,
that's an interesting question.
That's a very deep question. I mean, that's a question that's as old as art and sequential media itself when we really think about it. I mean, geez, we could take this back to the days of Sherlock Holmes. You got to remember Conan Doyle, when he was writing those stories, there was a point where he just said, I am writing this for the money. I really don't care what fans think. The whole Reichenbach Falls thing, as we know it, he killed Sherlock Holmes and James Moriarty off, and he's like, okay, I'm done with this now. I'm walking away from this to go do other things. And in the Victorian era, people were so mad at him and wrote him, very angry, very British letters to say, you can't do this. And he eventually budged, and it's like, okay, fine, I'll find a way for these characters to be alive again and keep writing it for the money. But, just let it be known that creatively I have checked out here. And I mean, I hope it never comes to that, where a creator is just doing it for the money and that they have been creatively checked out. But also, these stories take on lives of themselves, and comics are particularly strange because they never end. They have been going before we've been born. They will keep going long after we are dust. Every new writer, every new artist kind of stitches their part in the big grand tapestry of it all. To me, I have never tried to take it too seriously because I'm like, okay, I don't like this, but there's always a new run coming, and it's probably going to be different. And if you're a fan, and if you're a very opinionated fan, there's a good chance you're going to become a writer one day, and you can make it fit your head canon. I always bring it back to Jeff Johns' entire career. The good and the bad has mainly been, okay, how can I make it like I remember? How can I put Hal back? How can I put Barry back and all these other things? So the trick is, if you don't like a thing, just become a writer.
That is the trick.
Fix it yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, creator don't gotta do shit. Let him write his character.
I'm kind of with you. Yeah.
Let him do what he's gonna do, and when the fans don't like it, that's on you.
Well, then also it's a never-ending story. You'll like the next one, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
that's how
it's
I've
comics.
always felt.
It's comics.
For better or worse, there is no finality here. Again, it is like professional wrestling. It is like the radio play, where it's like, no, we're just going to keep going with it. And then, there might come a time where we address it. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just keep going. I've read lots of bad runs on characters I love. I've read lots of good ones. And, you hope at the end of the day, the good outweighs the bad.
I think there's a little more nuance in my mind, just because, I do think there's a line you have to straddle. Like, I want the characters to sound and feel like who they are, but I also
Mm,
want a creative team to express themselves
right.
creatively. So there's a line you have to straddle. I want to
Yeah.
read Captain America stories that feel like Captain America stories,
Mm,
but I want them to come from a person's point of view. Chip
right.
Zdarsky right now is doing such an amazing job of that,
Mm,
telling a story that feels like it belongs in the Captain America space,
yeah.
but it's not quite anything we've actually seen before.
Mm.
Right.
So that's what I think we all want.
For sure.
Um, but what people don't realize is that sometimes you're not going to like the thing that comes from that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
sometimes too, it's not even the writer or the creative team's fault. Sometimes bad choices come down to editorial a lot of the time, and you don't find out until years after the fact, until they're working at another company where it's like, no, 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 I had a completely different idea, and they said no because this was going to step on the feet of a movie or it was going to step on the feet of an upcoming event or something. My hands were tied. At the end of the day, I'm just a writer. They signed the checks. A recent one I always come back to, for all my problems that I had with Tom King's Batman run, he didn't actually want to kill Alfred and keep him dead. DC wanted to kill Alfred and keep him dead, and they have, which isn't that shocking that he's been
Yeah.
dead for that long and they haven't even bothered to try and bring him back once.
Just
I mean,
a little glowing guy in the memory banks right now.
yeah,
Yeah,
they bring him back in other ways, I feel, or they get people to kind of
they trick it quite a few
yeah,
times.
or they'll bring like
Yeah.
Leslie Tompkins in to do the role,
Yeah,
so
yeah, to have those important
yeah.
conversations because they've threatened it. Like Damien is like, "Oh, I got the Lazarus resin. I'm above his
Yep.
grave. I'm gonna do it." Nope. Or, "Oh, we're doing a time travel story in Justice
Yeah.
League, so Alfred can be here for a minute," or something like that. Or even that Zdarsky story I talked about. The dark
Yeah.
opposite Gotham. We can have a slightly different, morally compromised Alfred there if we want.
They should have brought him back in Task Force Z.
Right? Yeah, as a zombie. If
Zombie with a
that book
gun.
had kept going,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I think you're always going to have that at play when you're doing big two work. Um, but the thing I always come back to is like everybody making comics is a human.
Yeah.
And like we all do, like the four of us all do YouTube, and we know how it can feel when you get a comment from somebody that feels shitty or dismissive or rude to you,
Deeply
callous.
personal.
Exactly, like weird. Like I've gotten some messages. Some people just take this shit too seriously. I've gotten
Oh,
messages
yeah.
that are extremely personal, like in a negative way, and it's like, wow, you didn't even know me like that. But like people take it to that level, and it's very disturbing.
Yeah, there is the word fan comes from the word fanatic. And that's always going to be kind of baked into the DNA there that they are fanatical. I know there was an episode Sal and I did many years ago on the Elseworlds Exchange where we talked about, is fandom getting meaner? Is fandom getting weirder? And we pulled out like a bunch of old like letters page things from guys who ended up actually becoming writers who had like some very, harsh words to say about the current X-Men run. And I'm like, oh, no, I guess it hasn't really changed. I guess it's just louder and more immediate than it's ever been.
Yeah.
These voices of dissent have always been out there. It's just now everybody has a megaphone for it. Huh, how about that?
Yeah, the people
They
haven't
can
changed,
tweet
the
it.
technology changed.
I guess
Yeah.
so. You can't change human nature. And I say this too again, what is it like in the world of indie animation right now, there's all sorts of stuff going on. Like I guess what is it, the creator of the Digital Circus basically got bullied off social media by their own fans because they didn't like the direction it was going. And I'm like, well, what don't they like about it? Oh, this doesn't match my headcanon. You're not the writer. They're the
Yeah.
writer. And this isn't
I
based on anything pre-existing. This is like literally coming from this person's head, and you're mad about it? Okay.
animation fandoms have gotten me to stop watching animation, which is
Yeah.
wild. Ever since I think like Adventure Time was probably the last one I really got into.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
been a minute.
Yep.
Frank coming through with the 5 spot. Hey guys, loving the Rebirth deep dive, but I gotta ask, what do we have to do to get a Heroes Reborn deep dive?
Ooh.
One of the most insane periods in Marvel.
W-
Thank you for the suggestion. Heroes Reborn has come up a few times. Um, I think I haven't found my point of interest in that era, and that's generally what it takes outside of like the Ultimate Universe deep dive happened because Samuel Summers sponsored the Ultimate Spider-Man book club, and it just felt like we should put it together. The Rebirth month deep dive happened because we got the Watchmen or the Doomsday Clock book sponsored.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, and personally, I always liked season 1. Heroes better than Heroes Reborn. So I figured, we probably keep to that.
Big Hayden Panettiere fan.
Yeah, dude, I
Nice.
was
Yeah.
devastated, man,
Yeah,
devastated.
yeah.
Save
God,
the
I
cheerleader, save the world.
I was there when that was like appointment viewing Heroes on television, and,
so
and
good.
people were having serious arguments about like what was better, Heroes or Lost at the time. I remember that
Oh,
was the
yeah.
fandom war of its day. Are you
Yeah.
team Lost or are you team Heroes?
I was a Heroes guy. Sorry, Sean.
Yeah.
Dude, I was team World of Warcraft. I wasn't watching any of
Okay,
that shit.
fair.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Not at the time, at least.
Honestly,
fandom.
probably time better spent, honestly, in the grander scheme of things when we look at the legacy of these two things, where it's like, I guess so. Lost ending disappointed a lot of people. Heroes started several times. Let me ask you this. Did Heroes get good again is the thing? Because I know there was a point where it's like,
Nope.
I don't think they're coming back. Okay, they didn't. I thought so.
No, that was a steady decline.
For the
Fair enough.
record, I do believe Lost is one of the best shows ever. And I think the
At its
ending is
prime.
one of the best endings ever.
Ooh.
But I think people didn't understand the ending.
Lost Deep Dive 1. Lost Deep Dive 1. Second channel.
Yeah,
Yo,
right.
make it happen. Make it happen.
I don't need to because so many brilliant people have already done such a
Sure.
a much better job than I would ever do if I did some shit like that.
Off the back of the Doomsday Book Club, Doomsday Clock Book Club, I started watching the show again. Shit's good. Forgot about
Getting
that.
your Lindelof whistle wet right before Lanterns.
Yeah, that's right. And I see people in the chat. Hold up, I got 5 on Onslaught. That's from Patrick Zay. I saw somebody else bring up Onslaught. CW Gordon. I have the entirety of all the tie-ins, everything right here, baby.
You lost a bet for that, right? What was that? What it
I
was?
lost a bet years ago, and I read the whole thing. And you know what? I stand by it. Not bad, not as maligned an event as people make it out to seem.
Hey, you know what? People are going to like it more when X-Men 97 eventually uses it as like the backbone for season 3, because I am 90% sure that is where they are going in that show.
Oh,
Hell
they haven't
yeah.
touched Onslaught yet. Oh, they're going to Morrison next season, right?
Yeah, they're. Well, I think they're sending. I had totally forgotten how 97 ended. That they were like lost across time. So I think they're going to use it as an excuse to do a couple eras.
Yeah,
But we know the Avengers exist, so we know that there is a precedent for it in this world. If they ever wanted to do Onslaught, to do Heroes Reborn, they absolutely could.
I think that's the way forward for that show.
Because it's showing you things that regular viewers have never seen, things that they've only heard their nerdy comic book friends talk about.
Marco, did you audition for the role of the voice act Beak?
You know what? I tried. I arrived late
you
that
passed?
day. So, yeah, no, they went with someone else actually. Different talent.
Okay, cool.
Marco was too busy fucking to show up on time.
Show up on time.
Buffy deep dive, says Into Gray. Man, nobody's showing up for a Buffy deep dive. As much as I would love to, nobody's showing up for that.
I saw the first episode maybe like a few months back. I don't know. I don't know, man.
It's not
skill issue.
Yeah, it's not that. All those 90s shows, the first season is always weird and not necessary. Like those shows always get way better in season 2. X-Files, Buffy, all those shows, even The Sopranos. To me, outside of the one legendary Sopranos episode in the season 1, that show gets way better later. Buffy the Vampire Slayer from season 2 forward is one of the greatest shows of all time.
I like that one episode where people turn into warthogs.
What?
It's like the principal gets turned into like a warthog or some shit like that, or like hyenas or some shit.
People get a hyena brained. Yes.
Yeah. That's a weird one. I like that one.
Mark drops $4.99 on us. Do y'all think comic books having synergy with other medias is a good thing, or that each medium should be separate? Joel, what do you think about that?
It is a double-edged sword. Sometimes it works in comics' favor. Sometimes it does not. There are some truly excellent books from the last couple of years, specifically at Marvel, that probably would never have seen the light of day Were they not trying to coincide with a movie? Jed McKay's Moon Knight, remember, came out around the same time as the Moon Knight TV show. The awesome Donny Cates Venom that reinvented so much of the lore came about because of the Tom Hardy movie. Even those two really good volumes of Shang-Chi came out around the same time as the movie. They are awesome, and I think they would have been awesome on their own, regardless if there was any movie synergy or not. Oh, Gail Simone's variants around the same time.
Yeah.
Everyone thought Jessica Jones was coming back. That was another good one. I feel these things would have been great on their own, but I don't know if they would have had the marketing push and would have had as many eyes on them at the time for people to discover them and know that they were good. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it's incredibly annoying. In fact, in many cases, we're still living with the fallout from it. I mean, what is it? Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, still not Magneto's kids anymore, which was a weird Inhumans decision that we all just have to live with now for some reason, because they don't want to double back on it, even though they've had several chances to do it and they haven't.
Well, dude, they made Kamala Khan a mutant
Yeah,
from an
there you go.
Inhuman, which was she was supposed to be a mutant from the beginning,
Originally,
Yeah.
yeah.
but they made her an Inhuman because of all the X-Men stuff with
Synergy.
Fox. But then they made that right. So why not make right Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch?
It doesn't make any sense. And you know what? I'm of the weird mind where I'm like, actually, you know what? I think Kamala being an Inhuman was honestly one of the secret keys to her success, because she got to be a big fish in a very small pond and got to shoot to the top of the Inhuman roster like in an epically short amount of time. Now that she's a mutant, I'm like, okay, yeah, but there's a lot of young women mutants out there who I feel, you know, this is kind of the same role. And they're like, oh, well, she can fill the same role as, you know, Kitty, as, you know, like the, you know, Wolverine's tag along, you know, young woman who he's mentoring at the time. And I'm like, yeah, but it's been done though. And isn't even weirder where it's like, oh, well, is she going to get her powers from the TV show? Weirdly, no, because we're going to get the actress from the TV show to write a couple volumes of the book. And she's such a super fan, she's not going to do it, actually.
Yeah, man, like Kamala Khan is just hanging out with like Chamber, like just no books, not in a book.
Yeah,
Nowhere to be seen.
she's at Mutant Catering again, to borrow another wrestling
exactly,
term.
yeah.
She's in catering right now, waiting for them to do something, and that's such a shame.
Yeah,
And you know what's fucked up? She can't exit catering to go to the offices of CB Cebulski and say, "Hey, CB,
right.
can I pitch you an angle for me?" Like, no, like unless an actual human is up in the Marvel offices banging on the doors and saying, "Please do something with this character."
Right.
Like, they cannot advocate for them.
Marco,
So sad.
can you go do that at Marvel's offices?
Go to catering?
No, just go start banging on the doors and asking for Kamala Khan a book.
Oh, easily, dude, easily. I'll make my way over.
Cool.
But to answer Mark's question and, you know, further answer it, I feel like there should be synergy, but only in the sense that, like, the examples that Joel gave where, you know, you get a Venom run because there's a movie, cool. But Donny Cates and Stegman actually had a great story. Like,
They had a killer idea.
what we got out of that was really great. That is in stark contrast to, oh, right, there's a Captain America movie coming out. Let's put Sam Wilson in a cookout and then put him in on a flying
plantation, flying plantation, where him and all the other black characters are smiling until that book was so freaking weird. That was Greg Pak, right, who did that one?
I think you're right. I can't recall. I can't recall.
And it was so obvious Greg Pak did not give a shit about Sam Wilson. He's like, no, I want to do something with Josiah X, and I want to do something with War Machine because I've actually written these characters and I'm using it as a backdoor. And it's a Captain America book, so people assume that I'm going to have some socio-political commentary, even though I really have nothing to say. Man, that miniseries hurt, didn't it?
and it was like, hey, Red Hulk's in the movie? Let me give you Red Hulk, but the other one.
Yeah, Maverick, which honestly, I was kind of glad they brought Maverick back. Like, oh, they remember Maverick existed.
Which is fine, but then at the same time, it's like, oh, so there's two of the exact same looking characters running around here, pretty much? Good to know.
One has a mustache, though, Sean.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he got wings at the end, too.
Yeah.
Yes,
you-
that's
I
how
di-
that one ended.
I didn't
Red
get that
Hulk
far.
got away.
I didn't get that far.
I read the whole thing and I'm like, damn, wow, was this disappointing? And what's even crazier, Red Hulk Maverick is in that book at the same time Ross Red Hulk is getting a solo series.
Yep.
That one lasted 2 volumes. That one lasted longer than the Sam Wilson mini,
Yep.
which was only
Right.
5 issues.
Right. And so for me, if the tie-in's gonna or the synergy book is gonna be quality, I'm all in. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, that was Greg Pak and Evan Narcisse.
There you
there
go.
you go.
Or I think we can agree one of the worst examples of synergy gone wrong, Civil War 2. Hey, we're doing a Civil War movie. Let's dig that up again.
It's one of my least favorites.
Oh, so bad.
I'm gonna force myself to fall in love with that fucking book. I'm gonna do it.
I'm
Because
gonna
I
force-
wanna love I'm gonna force it because I wanna love Civil War 2 so damn bad. I gotta
Here's the
redo
thing.
that.
Here's the thing. The tie-ins, some of the tie-ins are actually pretty quality, like the way the Captain Marvel writing team at the time had to spin the crazy choices Carol was making in the main series. You know, God bless them for polishing that as well as they did. Similarly, the events of that book are actually recontextualized in a very interesting way in the next one, Secret Empire, when you have evil sleeper agent Steve Rogers being like, no, that story sucked as much as it did because I was pushing and prodding people. You didn't see it, but I was there whispering in people's ears, making the situation way worse. And I'm like, you know what, Nick Spencer? You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to clean up that last event, but I appreciate you for trying.
My favorite synergy is when they kill the character off when their movie comes out.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. What was up with that? Marvel kept doing that for like a long time. That was crazy.
Death of Doctor
Why?
Strange. There was
Yeah.
what was the other one? There was another big one. Moon
This
Knight.
this happens constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you go as far back as the Dark Knight movie,
Yeah.
Batman
R.I.P.
R.I.P. is what was happening at that time. So they love to do that, and I am very puzzled by it.
Weird choice.
Jorge R22 says, "Hello, pals. Just wanted to pop in and say that I just got a huge promotion at work. Thank you for fostering a great community and putting out videos that have kept me going through tough times. That's amazing. Congratulations, brother. And I'm happy to be a small piece of your success story, bro. So, congratulations."
Congrats.
On that grind, dude. Well deserved.
I'll take all credit for it.
Yeah. Yo, Patrick Zay says, "Let's go. Congrats. Tomorrow's comics are on you."
Yeah, right. It's gonna be a big week. This is a big week. Lots of big
Huge
books.
week.
Yeah, we gotta get all 3 of those new DC Next levels.
I'm
That's
going into
a-
work early, 8 a.m., so that I can leave by 6, I guess.
They're gonna be gone. They're gonna be gone.
No!
No, you got to go on your lunch break.
Nah, no. The next level books will be stocked. This isn't indie comics. You will be able to get your next level books.
Let's see. What's my
Now, Joel, my question for you, and by the
Please.
way, everybody go subscribe to Cape Joel.
Aw, thank you.
Fantastic channel. You guys will love him if you've enjoyed his time here. This is the energy he brings to his videos. He's
I
a
try.
blast. What are you looking forward to most that's coming out this week? And when you end up making your videos for this week, what are the books that you are most excited to spotlight?
An excellent question. I think I'm going to be doing 2 videos that are batches of 3 this week. One on Wednesday when the new books drop, and then one on Sunday after I've had a chance to really sit down and read everything. Friday's video is going to be another video essay. It's recorded. I just need to edit it later tonight. Yeah, what's coming out this week? I think we got the next Captain America.
Mhm.
That's coming out this week. That's going to be a big one. Oh, we got the Ultimates 22, which is ironically also a Captain America story. This is Ultimate Cap dealing with Red Skull Bucky, and maybe I can actually reveal a little secret, little special something here. Two twin characters who we weren't sure if they were going to get a moment might actually end up getting a moment in this. So get ready for that.
Finally.
Yeah, I know, right? That was my thing too.
Yeah.
I'm still very much in Death Spiral right now. It's Spider-Man. People always want to know what's going on in Spider-Man, love it or hate it. I actually did not mind the first 3 issues of this, even if it is mostly just keeping you up to speed on everything that was happening in All New Venom and in Eddie Carnage, because they're assuming that if you're reading this event, you probably weren't reading all 3 books. And then, of course, obviously, Lobo, Batwoman, and Deathstroke. Deathstroke, I'm going to be really interested in because I still hold up that the best Deathstroke book was the one they did in DC Rebirth, where they just weren't afraid to let him
Yep.
be a villainous protagonist and just
Yep.
let him be an absolute piece of shit heel. And I feel like that's a problem that every other book, even that last Joshua Williamson run, which normally I love everything Joshua Williamson does, that run where I'm like, I think you love this guy a little too much, and I don't think you should. I don't think he should be this cool. I think there should be something deeply unlikable about him.
Yeah, Priest made him a huge scumbag to his whole family in
Yes,
that
he
book.
did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a great book. Again, that's like one of the, if you twisted my arm and said, "Oh, what was your favorite DC Rebirth story?" I'd be like, "Oh, well, obviously what was going on in the Superman books at the time, and of course, surprisingly, Deathstroke."
Yeah.
Kurzbers wants to know what our thoughts are on Mortal Thor.
Mm.
Are you reading Mortal Thor, Joe?
I am not. I sadly had to drop out on this run, not because I didn't like it. I was really liking it. In fact, what Ewing did with the real meta commentary on the comic industry and art form as it exists in a grander metaverse, I'm like, holy shit, this is brilliant. But I think an event threw me off, and then I just forgot to pick it up. So then I fell more issues behind. I kept meaning to come back to it. I sadly never did. But yeah, now he's mortal, and people are still very much interested in it. I'm like, oh, I gotta catch up on this.
It's real damn good.
I bet.
Mortal Thor is easily in my top 3 Marvel books being published right now. And I know that a lot of people will say, oh, well, that's not saying a lot because Marvel's not great right now. But I feel like Marvel has some really solid books that I'm
They do.
reading. And it's not as many as DC, but the ones I'm reading, I'm really enjoying.
Yeah.
And Mortal
Absolutely.
Thor is one of them.
That's good. Ewing rarely misses, you know?
Yeah.
Agreed.
What about PKJ's Infernal Hulk with Nick Klein? What do you think about that? Nick and others.
Ironically, now I remember it was the crossover with the Hulk run
Okay.
previously
Sure.
that knocked me off because I was a little hard up on cash at the time, so I couldn't actually pick up both. And I'm like, But yeah, Infernal Hulk looks incredibly cool. Like, just the cover and the concept looks awesome. I read the first issue of the Philip Kennedy Johnson run, and I'm like, oh, he's building on the Green Door stuff from Immortal. This is so smart. He's doing creepy otherworldly skinwalkers. This is a great concept. And obviously, of course, this is building to the big event, Hulk War, which I'm sure you've heard some people are theorizing like, oh, are they ending this run prematurely because they want to roll out a new Hulk who is closer in synergy to what we're probably going to be seeing from the new Spider-Man movie?
Now, we're going to close things out here in just a moment, but I actually want to see if the 4 of us can play a quick game together.
Ooh.
Yay.
It's just something I thought of on the spot.
Okay.
What I want to do is I want to see if the 4 of us can each name 5 current Marvel books that we enjoy, but we cannot overlap.
Ooh.
So in total, the 4 of us will have to account for 20
Okay.
Marvel books that we genuinely enjoy.
I don't think
No
Marco.
bullshit.
I don't think Marco could do that by himself.
I could do it by myself.
I don't
but
think
once you
Marvel can
start-
name 20 characters.
I can name 20 characters.
No, there was hesitation. You had to think about that.
Yeah,
one.
you took
I had
a
to think
long
about it, I
time
had to
with
think
that
about
one,
it.
brother. Okay.
Okay.
So here's what we're gonna do. It's
Okay.
gonna be this order: Joel, Marco, Tyler, Sean. All
Sure.
right.
Sure.
Joel first, and I'm gonna
Okay.
keep track.
Okay, so it's going to be over very soon, and that is a shame, but Ultimates from Dennis Camp has been great. I love the fiery political commentary that this book is doing. In fact, I think it has only gotten more righteously angry once Dennis Camp learned that the run in this universe was ending prematurely, to where he's just like, all right, I'm going to take the entire comic industry to task in the last issue. That's where I'm at. Again, ending soon, but I think it's really good.
I'm gonna say Mortal Thor.
Okay.
Cool. He looked at the screen. Awesome. I'll go with has to be actively coming out, right?
Yes.
So not something that just ended doesn't count. Okay.
Nope.
So Jed McKay's Avengers. Not an option. Give me Weapons of Armageddon, the Wolverine book by Chip Zdarsky. That's a real fun
Sure.
book.
Mhm.
Sure, that works. Similarly, I will go ahead and grab Captain America by Chip Zdarsky.
Is this a draft? Are we drafting these?
You're up, Joel.
Ooh, I gotta go again with one. Okay, so we had that. Oh man, what else is going on right now that I'm thoroughly enjoying? Now this is kind of unfair because it's technically starting this week, but Sentry looks pretty good. I know. It's like, can I prematurely say a book I haven't had a chance to read yet? I mean, come on, it's the original creative team, so it's got to be good.
It's Wednesday somewhere right now, so
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In the future, in the land of tomorrow.
You're a guest. We'll give it to you this time around. Marco, where are you at?
Yo, Infernal Hulk, dude.
okay.
All right.
Real good.
There you go, Tyler.
Let me get a Black Cat.
Black
G.
Cat.
Willow Wilson. Real good stuff.
Love that. I'm gonna go with Amazing Spider-Man.
Sean,
Damn.
Patrick Zay in the chat said, Sean sent me that Marvel code last week and I printed it out and set it on fire.
You bastard.
That's how
Don't
he
hit me
feels.
up for those
Yeah.
damn freaking codes anymore then. Joel, you're up.
Well, I mean, as far behind as I am, I mean, we got to give all the respect in the world to Moon Knight in whatever form it has
Oh.
currently taken. It keeps moving and evolving, and the fact
Yeah.
that it keeps moving and evolving, and this is the longest running Moon Knight run, like with the
Oh, yeah.
same creative team. Like this is long dwarfed any of the other ones. Well, you got to give that one all the flowers.
Yeah, it's Mark Spector Moon Knight currently. Yeah, but it's still
Okay,
Jed
cool,
McKay.
that's-
Still Jed.
Good on
Damn,
him.
I was gonna call that one, Joel. You took it right out of my hands. But
Hey,
I'm gonna
see,
say
we're getting to the bottom.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay.
Huh.
The Scarlet Witch
I haven't
book.
checked that out yet.
I did like that book.
Okay.
Issue 4's
That's-
coming out.
Tyler?
Let's see. Marvel books. Let's do New Avengers. Definitely not Thunderbolts. Sam Humphries.
I
Dealing with
like that one too.
Yeah, dealing with the Kill Illuminati.
It's going to be ending very soon, unfortunately.
It's,
It had its
it's,
run
it's on its
cut
way. Yeah.
at 10, but still coming out, so it still counts.
Yep.
Thank goodness it does. I'm gonna go with Storm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a
Joel?
Mightiest Avenger right now, right?
Yeah.
Do the Star Wars books count? They're technically
they do. They
Marvel.
They do. Yeah.
Yes, they
Oh.
do.
Well, I'm not going to say Shadow of Maul. I was excited to pick it up because I was really excited about the show and everything. Then you read the issue and it's like, oh, he literally doesn't show up until the very end. This is
Oh,
about setting up
that's-
the heroic antagonist who's going to be going after Maul. That's a shame.
Brutal.
Isn't it wild there's no Mandalorian comic? Never mind. We don't need to get into that. That's fine.
So
I mean, they
what will
had-
you choose?
Oof. This is rough. I'm kind of up against it right now because I think we are actually at the bottom of the ones I've been reading. I mean, okay, you know what? Here's one I will actually say. Charles Soule, Eddie Brock Carnage, which is kind of on a hiatus right now because of Death Spiral. It's weird that Venom and Amazing are getting the tie-ins, but seemingly this one isn't. I really appreciated what Soule did in that book, mainly because he got to bring Muse back, his original villain, who obviously had gotten a big push because of the Daredevil TV show. And it's like, oh, let's have Eddie Brock as Carnage fight Muse. And I'm like, all right, I'm down for that. It's pretty fun. It definitely reads like a man who is as an allegory for a man who's been clean and sober forever, but now he's back on that symbiote, man, and he's just fighting to try and see his kid again.
He's back on that symbiote.
It really is. That's the whole thing. It's just Eddie looking disheveled and sleeping
He
in
looks a
gutters,
mess.
and
Yeah.
and he just desperately wants to see his kid again. But it's like, dude, you got to get your life together. You can't see your kid right now. And then he did in Death Spiral, and it wasn't good because he's not right.
Marco, what do you got?
I got and to be honest with you, my last one, Null, because that
Oh.
issue 2 is very good.
Oh, nice. Nailed it. Tyler?
Let's see. I thought the first issue was pretty interesting. I haven't gotten to the second one. I have it downloaded, but Inglorious X-Force.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, from Tim Seeley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got my my girl Boom Boom in it. So
Nice. I love when they remember she exists.
oh, she's so good.
I'm gonna draft Fantastic Four.
Ryan North, who's going to be writing The Flash soon.
Flash with Gavin Guidry, our buddy.
Yeah.
Good for him. Hell yeah.
Joel, last one. Can you do it?
Yes, I can. Joshua Williamson, Iron Man. It's
There
only
you
two
go.
issues in.
You just
but
screwed
it's
Marco.
Oh my god. The last one I thought of it literally as Sean finished his sentence. Oh my god.
That's okay, because I have another one actually, even on top of this.
Flexing now.
God.
Okay. It's only
Don't
one
say
issue.
it. Don't say it.
No, do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have like 10 more, so keep going.
Marco, your last one. Do you have it?
Oh, dude, I think that's the most I'm reading.
I got one more, and I really hope Tyler doesn't say it. So, Marco, you're tapping.
Ooh.
I'm tapping, dude.
All right, Marco,
All right,
tap
now,
out.
now I want to say it just to mess with Sean. Nova Centurion has been really good.
Okay.
Spinning out of
I like the war accountant.
Yeah. Well, and mine is still it ends tomorrow, I think. I think it's tomorrow, but it ain't over yet. Dungeons of Doom.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
that's right. That's a good one,
Yes.
but not the one I had in mind.
What'd you have?
So I feel like this one has flown under the radar. In fact, I don't even think people remember that this one got a brand new #1 because it takes place directly after the Red Band mini Punisher from
Yeah.
Benjamin
Yes.
Percy.
Yes, absolutely.
It's one issue in. It's kind of dealing with the fallout of the previous one, but it shows potential. And also, Percy has kind of said, "Hey, stick with this because I'm going to do some interesting stuff." There was a bit in the Red Band where Punisher got hit in the head, and he started remembering stuff from past lives and past comics, but also stuff from like Marvel Max that like he should not remember. And someone tried to call Percy on. It's like, "Hey, you made a mistake. This Max stuff isn't in continuity." And Percy's like, "Yeah, it's not in continuity yet."
Sick.
Yeah, not in continuity yet. I'm like, oh, he's got plans then, huh? To probably canonize some stuff.
I thought he was gonna start calling himself Rick Grayson.
That would be fun. I mean, this basically is Frank and a Rick Grayson arc, more or less.
Nobody said Ultimate Endgame or Ultimate Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, Ultimate Wolverine was the weakest one. No offense to Chris Condon. I actually really enjoyed his Green Arrow
Kinda
work.
with you. Yeah.
But that Ultimate Wolverine book, that was just too little too late. And it's just too similar to Wolverine. I'm like, you made him Winter Soldier and changed literally nothing else. This could have been any other Wolverine story.
Yep.
And I feel like they only did that because Ultimate X-Men was so out there and different and, you know, female-led and manga-inspired and mystery-heavy, where they're like, oh, we need something more traditional X-Men here.
Marco, I'm proud of you. You did it.
Hey, dude, and you know what?
He did not.
My hands
What?
are up here.
He
dude.
did
My
not.
hands are up here.
He did further than I thought.
He got 4. He got 4, and he's on a podcast talking about Marvel Comics every single week. Do not give this man credit.
It's you know what it is. Any Marvel book isn't top of mind because I'm there and I'm like, oh, that's right, that's coming out this week. I'll grab it. You know, we do this for DC. It's a different story.
Of course.
Yeah.
If we sat here talking about DC, it would be like, how many great DC books can we name before we stop?
Yeah.
Before somebody has to say Hush too.
Yeah. And this is honestly, this is a truth of comics too, something that I see more and more as I get older, where everyone's like, oh, you know, this company's killing right now, this company is on top, how are the other guys ever going to recover? And I'm like, they do all the time. This regularly happens. Very rarely as a comic reader have I ever seen an era where both Marvel and DC were up at the same time. Usually one's up, the other's down, then one's up and the other one's down.
Seesaw.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
And yet I still feel like we are in one of the greatest times in the history of comics.
Oh, yeah.
And Joel, thank you for sharing your
pleasure.
time with us. This has been incredible. It would be great if you came back on to hang out with us.
Oh, you know I will.
Chat has been asking for you to do the main show because, as fun as this was, our main show on Saturday mornings is a blast, and so hopefully we get to have you on that one.
I mean, look, that sounds fun and exciting enough that I might actually get up early on Saturday to come to it. If you know me, I am the weirdest night owl in history. I usually don't start work until 8 o'clock, and then I'm usually up till 7 a.m. give or take. I am a vampire essentially.
You're on Batman hours.
Yeah, I am literally on Batman hours. It's deeply unhealthy and not conducive to a social life at all, but I've been doing it for so long, I don't know how to stop.
Great for a YouTube life, though. So that
Tell me about it.
There you go. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Joel's channel at Cape Joel. Make sure you continue to allow him to live his vampire lifestyle by supporting the channel.
I I rise.
Watch us this Thursday at 8 p.m. We'll be talking about a bunch of the books that are coming out this week that you'll find in your LCS tomorrow, including the next level books that we talked about today. Until Thursday, until Saturday for the deep dive part 3 into Rebirth,